Well, this is video 11. You're almost done. One more video after this one, but this is very, very important. So we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock so that you and I can learn in 5 minutes. Here we go. It's who we are. It's who we are as Catalyst Church. And this one is extremely important because if you do all the 10 other videos that we as Catalyst Church are supposed to do, but if you are not, here's the word, faithfully committed to God and doing these things as a church, everything just falls apart. Everything falls apart. I know for me as a pastor, it's we rely on volunteers like you and others to be able to do the work of the ministry. I might be called to be this part of this church, you're part of the church, but if people fall through and they're not faithful in doing this, and we'll find this out with the last video, with love, and you're not committed to what you say you're going to do, everything just falls apart and we look like we are not doing what we are called to do, and then people get frustrated, and then we have to start forgiving people, and the whole list can continue. We're not serving each other if we're not faithfully committed. So it's just who we are at Catalyst Church. We are called to be faithful to God and to others. Faithful to what we say we're going to do, and faithful to our mission and our purpose and the whole list of the last video. So with the last 3 minutes that we have left, let me just read this. It says this: his master said to him, "Well done, good and" what? "Faithful servant." We talked about earlier that we are called to be servants. We're not called to be served, but to serve. But how do we serve? How do we show hospitality? How do we give? How do we do this? Faithfully. And it's emphatic that this word was in here. So it's well done. This pleases the Lord. Good. In other words, you're doing the right thing. Faithful. You're dedicated. You are reliable servant. You have been faithful over a little. And I purposely had this part in here. Why? Because you might say, but I'm only doing this much. And God's like, that's good. Be faithful in that, O servant of mine. So if you have been given a task, or if you have been called to a task, or if you've been called to a ministry, been called to a whatever it might be, and you think it's small, no ma'am, no sir. To God, if you are faithful serving him in this, it's good. It's really good. And he's going to say, well done. And it says, I have set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are faithful and doing it with love, we'll talk about this in the last video. And if you do it with love, ladies and gentlemen, God just said, come on, son. Come on, daughter. You've done good. You've done good. You might think it's a little. He thinks it's great and good, as long as we do it faithfully and doing it as a servant, not unto our glory, but unto his. And then the last part of the faithfully committed is what we're called to do. We go to this verse. Let it simply be said this: let your yes or no, nothing more of this, then comes evil. Think about this. It says, let your yes be yes, your no be no. If you're going to do something, do it with the first word, faithfully. Don't sign up for something with inside Catalyst Church and not be committed. Decide that you are going to commit yourself and be faithful to it. Yes, there's sacrifice. Being a servant of Jesus is a sacrifice. Yes, it's weird being humble. Yes, it's like insane, but it's good. So let us be people of our word. Let us be people that are faithfully committed. If we say yes, let it be yes. If it is a no, and you change your mind later on, be faithful in your no. But then maybe later on you can say, you know what? I'm going to be more faithful. Maybe your no is, you know what? I cannot faithfully commit to it. Fine. Say no. We'd rather you say no than not be faithful and not be committed. So here's my challenge to you and to me. In all of these 10 other topics and videos, and in our everyday life as a disciple of Jesus. Let it be said that when we say yes, we are faithfully committed. And if we say no, may it be not because we don't want to, but because we recognize that we cannot faithfully commit to something and then mess up really everything else. So it's just who we are as Catalyst Church. We are faithfully committed people to God and to what we said that we're going to do. And when we do, our yes will be yes and our no will be no. And then God will say, well done. You think it's small. To God, it's well done. What he's given you. Enter the joy of his, the master's house and his purpose and his way. So hopefully that encourages you. One more video to come. Great job.